What's going on there, folks? Good evening. It is Earthmaster here checking in on this Monday, January 25th, 2021 is the date, 7:30 p.m. West Coast time. And take a look at the latest information there on the aurora forecast. Shows a little bit of a surprise aurora hitting the higher latitudes there. So it's kind of unexpected there, according to spaceweather.com. Today's solar wind stream was not expected to cause a geomagnetic storm, but it did. A minor G1 class storm is in progress as the solar wind speed tops about 500. But looking over here towards the left, we're looking at about 601 at the moment, with proton density range around 6.9. So yeah, potential for auroras around the areas to the north there in the yellow. Of course, that's only about a 50% chance. It was kind of getting into the orange there earlier, but at that time it was kind of right around in this region here, over the northern Atlantic area. So we'll see if this amps up or not. But for now, it just looks like about 50% chance here within the yellow, and anywhere from 10 to 50% chance here for some of these lower latitude state, or not. It doesn't even look like it's getting down into the states there, but just into Canada. As far as the earthquake activity going on here on the west coast, a little bit of movement to speak of. A couple earthquakes right now on the map here near Bodie, showing the latest quake there, a 2.1, and some activity ramping up there in Nevada. Most of the activity today was just south here along the southern part of the state, right around the Elsinore Fault. Kind of like the southern section, I guess, if you will. It kind of extends down here into Baja. This is a pretty lengthy fault system, but slow moving when it comes to building up pressure. There was a couple smaller earthquakes there, and a little cluster of movement there, 3.0. Ocotillo, California, seeing some activity there. Like I said, probably about 3 miles off of that specific fault system there. And then some further movement up here along the San Jacinto Fault area. Some small swarming going on here. Not even, I wouldn't even call that swarming, right? A couple earthquakes, 2.5 and a 1.8 there along the Salton Sea region near Red Heel. Other than that, not a whole lot of movement to speak of at the moment. That goes for the parts of Northern California as well. Idaho looks like they may be on a little bit on the uptick there. Nothing major to report in the Idaho region. As far as Yellowstone National Park, we'll go ahead and check that out real quick. I can see most of the swarming has died down. Looks like maybe trying to see what this is over here. Kind of being picked up right there on the bottom on that station, and also down here around Moose Creek, Idaho. Looks like it may be picking that up as well. Hard to tell exactly where that's coming from, though. It is showing up on a couple of these seismograph stations, but not the ones over here to the east. So very possible what we're seeing is the activity that's taking place over there in Idaho to the west of this Yellowstone National Park here. This is pretty much just an overview of the seismographs there, and a couple Idaho stations in there as well. But yeah, it's kind of showing up there on a couple stations. So that's exactly what we're seeing, is that movement there in Idaho. Let's go ahead and zoom into that movement real quick. And nothing big, just a couple 2-pointers there, and it looks like a 2.6 being the largest quake in the sequence of activity there, north of the Sawtooth Fault system. And a little, you can see that little hook of activity there from Yellowstone stretching up into just west of Helena, Montana. Looks like a little explosion there, probably a quarry blast, I'm guessing. Yep, quarry blast of a 1.8 magnitude. And then just a couple small microquakes stretching into this region here. Pretty quiet, folks. As far as the activity going on at Mount Hood, Mount St. Helens, a little bit of small microquakes there around Mount St. Helens, Mount Rainier. Pretty quiet according to the USGS here on the latest map. We'll go ahead and check out those here in just a second. We'll go to the Trimmer map. movement along the Cascadia subduction zone, basically confined to the southern end of it in the northern California, and also up here towards the north in southern Washington. About what do we got here? 123 epicenters of tremor along the Cascadia tonight. Big downfall from last night, where we've seen upwards of about 450 epicenters. That was pretty much spread out the entire length of the up from northern California all the way up into Washington. Volcanic. Let's check this out real quick. Mount Rainier, real quick. Nothing to report there. A couple small quakes over the last 2 days. We got to go to the seismograph stations to view any specific details on that, including quakes that may not be reported. And it looks pretty squashed, folks. Nothing really at all showing up. I mean, then again, the lines there look pretty, the sensitivity on this looks pretty heightened. It would take a lot of movement to show up on that station there. So let's see what else we got. We'll check out this one over here in the red. And then we'll go back here. Yeah, some of this stuff here. I still think it's some type of swarming going on, unless this is something to do with ice, maybe snow movement, maybe water movement around the area. But either way, it's definitely showing up on the seismograph stations as legit marks. These are not interference. These are definitely some type of movement that's being picked up by the seismograph station there at Mount Rainier. So let's go ahead and check out the Mount Hood seismic activity, where that swarming was over the last week or so. Looks like maybe there was just a small little microquake today over the last 2 hours, and a couple more over the last 2 days. But I don't believe we're looking at any type of... Whoa, that's kind of odd. This here, that kind of looks like it's the sensitivity is just... It might even pick up Bigfoot. I mean, that's really heightened. I mean, it's really a... Wow. I don't even know what's going on there. That's a little on the odd side. Let's check out BHE station, and that's going to be the same. Let's see if we can get a different station here. I don't know why they mess with the sensitivity on those. And even that one's kind of like that, at least for over the last couple hours. And this is yesterday's activity. There at Mount Hood. Some of this looks like interference there. Some of these wavy lines could be distant quakes. It's kind of an interference issue there. It's hard to tell exactly with this setup. Let's see if I can find a different one here. Maybe right at the summit on that 3 component. Yeah, there we go again. I think they got this thing really sensitivity turned up quite a bit. That way it picks up any type of movement. That looks like maybe a small little earthquake right there. It's possible that's what they're doing. There's another one right there. A more distinct earthquake there on that seismograph station. Some type of interference here, maybe a generator. It's hard to tell. When it runs in a period of a couple minutes, dies down, a couple minutes, dies down. That's definitely a pattern of something running, maybe something turning on. You know, who knows what's going on there near that station. But definitely not any type of magma movement or any other issues there at the top of Palmer Lift. Who knows? Maybe those are ski lifts turning off and on. Who knows? I'm not 100% certain what that is that's going on up there at Palmer Lift. Rest of the globe, folks. Alaska did see a little bit of activity today. 4.8. I believe that was originally a 5-pointer, right? Looks like it got downgraded pretty good there. Could have swore I've seen this thing come in at a 5.3. It is now a 4.8 from earlier. A little 2.7 there. The latest quake in the Alaska region. Some further movement here north of the Philippines near Taiwan. A little good, pretty good increase in earthquake activity in the 5 range. 5.2, I believe, is the largest. Yep, earthquake there in that sequence of quakes there off the coast of Taiwan. And what do we got here? A couple deeper earthquakes there as well. So possibly we've got that one there, 215. That's pretty deep there off the coast of, we're right smack dab there at the Philippines. It's actually really deep movement there. So definitely an area to watch for potential future activity as we're seeing some 4s and 5s in that region. Down here to the east of Papua New Guinea, the same thing for the most part. Some deeper movement as well, and lots of 4s and 5s kicking up in that region. Same for the Fiji Islands over there. Of course, no stranger to deep earthquakes. 577 kilometers downstream for that 4.9. It's just some deep movement. Some of the deepest earthquake activity takes place right here in this specific section, just outside of Fiji. And a couple other deep ones there too. 506 for the 4.4 just northeast of there. And some surface quaking going on in the 5 range right around the Fiji Islands area. So definitely an uptick of activity along the southwestern edge of the Pacific Ring of Fire. Hawaii, nothing really new to report there in that region. See if we can find it. There we go. A couple small earthquakes kicking off right now. Still seeing your swarming. This swarm's been going on there for about a year and a half or so, maybe a little bit longer. No major movement there to report in that region. Just swarming at around 35 kilometers or so. That's where it seems to be happening at. Mauna Loa showing a little quake out here in the how big is that? Let's see here. Just a little 1.9. The depth of that 1.5 kilometers negative. Alright folks, I'm going to call it a night, I believe. We've got some interesting weather taking place here in California this week. Starting tomorrow. Well, right now we're underneath a hard freeze warning. That's kind of odd for this area. I mean, yeah, it's wintertime, right? A lot of people are like, oh, 25 degrees, that's not cold. But for this area, it's kind of chilly. Plus we got potential for some snow down to the valley floor here in Northern California. The mountains, of course, always get snow, but here in the valley, it doesn't happen all that often. So I'm pretty excited. I'm going to be watching this pretty closely. If it does snow out here, I will probably most likely go live because that's how big of a deal it is. It's pretty awesome to watch, and like I said, it just doesn't happen all that much here in this part of California. Pretty significant low pressure system, just about ready to make aim. You can see the low pressure kind of spinning up here off the screen, but a lot of moisture aiming right for Northern California. That low pressure system is going to swing right in that direction and ramp up a lot of moisture into this area. We need it. Gosh darn it, do we need it. Southern California got some rain. Arizona, some snow above Flagstaff. This whole area was without monsoonal moisture last summer. So any kind of rainfall, snowfall they get is definitely beneficial for that region. And here in California as well, hopefully this will make a pretty good impact on our drought here in California. Expecting somewhere around 3 inches of rainfall over the next few days here in my area, which is pretty good. Snowfall, we're talking feet of snow. I may have to get up to Mount Lassen after all these storms pass and show you guys how much snow will be up there. I've seen it before. They're talking 10 to 15 feet of snow after all this is said and done here, probably by next weekend. So, wow. I mean, it's awesome. We definitely need the moisture here along the West Coast. So, I am very thankful to the to who was ever doing the rain dances out there. The snow dance. Thank you for bringing that moisture out here to the West Coast. All right, folks, enjoy the evening here. And, yeah, folks up in Canada, keep your eyes open for potential auroras there. That aurora forecast updates about every 30 seconds to every minute. Right now, still G5 or G1 class storm, high latitudes, looking at 70% possibility of seeing the auroras there. Kind of stretching down into parts of the states, it looked like, as the night progresses. We'll have to see if the protons increase, and also the solar wind. It's pretty high right now, 600 kms there. And I'm not for sure what's going on with the Yellowstone station there. There's a couple dots or a couple spikes of what looks like earthquakes every minute or so. I'm not for sure what that is, but it's definitely not earthquake activity when it's spread out that equally and evenly every minute. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here in a second. It's coming up on this graph below the Solomon's Island station here. This here is Yellowstone National Park, right around Canyon. See all these little specks right there? Definitely not earthquakes. Looks like some type of interference hitting the station there every minute or so. But definitely some activity there in Chile. And we'll see how the night goes. See what Mother Nature wants to do with the plates, right? Do some rocking and rolling. All right, guys, have yourself a beautiful Monday evening. I'm going to hang out here for a little bit, and we'll chat to you guys tomorrow sometime. Peace out.